Hi everyone, I'm Gina from Sisters Talk Radio.
And I'm Andrea from Sisters Talk Radio.
We're super excited. We are going on vacation to Memphis, Tennessee, and we are taking you guys with us. We're going to do a lot of video from the road, a lot of video once we get there. So we're excited, and we hope that you guys enjoy the trip as much as we do. But this is not the subject of this video. The subject of this video is the final episode of Season 2 of Anyone But Me. If you have not watched the series, Anyone But Me, it is a great lesbian web series available only online. All you have to do is go to anyoneButMeSeries.com to check it out. Kudos to the executive producers, Susan Miller and Tina Cisa Ward, for a job well done again.
Oh, yes.
So, great job, ladies.
Yeah.
So the final episode of Season 2 of Anyone But Me was really intense. Predictable, because we know how lesbians are.
Exactly.
But really intense. Quick run through the characters if you're unfamiliar with the show. There's Archibald and Liz, who are a couple, became a couple sort of kind of midway between in Season 2. And then there's Vivian and Aster, who are a lesbian couple, have been a couple from Episode 1, Season 1. Mm-hmm. They've been kind of rocky, but they've been a couple from Episode 1, Season 1. There's Sophie, who is a childhood friend of Vivian's. Now, Vivian had to move back home to her old town after her dad was involved in 9/11, and so they had to move back home. And Sophie is a childhood friend from home. Now, we learn in the second season that Vivian started to question her sexual orientation because she had a crush on Sophie. Mm-hmm. So we learn this. And then Aster learns this as well, and there's this tension between Vivian and Sophie. So that's kind of the lead-in to what happened in the final episode of Season 2.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, the whole season they've been building and building and building this connection between Sophie and Vivian, and how now we're starting to see more of how Vivian actually has a crush, we think, on Sophie. And it leads us to the final episode where they're put in a place where they're forced basically to kiss. And the entire, it just blows up from there. You know, and we don't want to say too much because we want you to be able to watch the episode, then come back and check us out. But definitely go see what's going on with Anyone But Me. But basically, they step in. Liz was doing a rehearsal because all of her cast ended up getting food poisoning, so she had to pull all of her friends in to be able to do a rehearsal for their play. Well, the two main characters that she needed to do the roles for were going to be Sophie and Vivian, and they're forced to kiss, you know, to end this scene. And it got very dramatic. I think you could definitely talk about that one.
It got really dramatic, and I think when Sophie and Vivian finally kissed, first of all, Aster kind of pushed that because they were apprehensive about kissing. And, you know, there was Liz and Cutest Dyke, who, for some reason, we don't know her name. We keep calling her Cutest Dyke in the world. Cutest Dyke in the world is sitting there with Aster and Liz, and they're all kind of pushing these two to kiss, and they really don't want to kiss. And then Aster, you know, just kind of pokes just a little bit more at Sophie and says, do you want me to show you how it's done? And so Sophie basically says, fuck you, and lays one on Vivian. I mean, really lays one on her because those two forget. The kiss got really long, and they forgot that there were other people around, and all hell broke loose. And Aster was pissed off and went storming off and ended up kissing this other girl who was cutest dyke in the world. And, you know, Vivian walks up on those two kissing, and in the meantime, cutest dyke in the world is buttoning her pants back up. Not sure why, because there was no reason for her pants to be unbuttoned. But she's buttoning her pants up like maybe Aster had her hand down her pants.
Yeah, I think that was, you could hear it being unbuttoned.
I totally missed that.
Yeah.
But, so, you know, you got Liz and Archibald broke up because Archibald thinks that Liz is using drugs because earlier in the season, the principal solicits Archibald to kind of spy on the kids at school who are using drugs. And so, you know, he's kind of got his mind there, and I guess he assumes that Liz is using drugs. What she's taking actually are antidepressants. She's taking Prozac. But because those two, their communication skills are just not where they need to be, they've got this huge misunderstanding. Archibald breaks up with her. So we've got Archibald and Liz broken up. We've got, you know, Vivian and Aster have broken up. And I hope that Vivian and Sophie get together because I want Vivian to actually go back to that relationship, those feelings she had when she was 12, and explore those. I mean, how many of us get an opportunity to go back to that first crush we had when we were 12 years old and actually explore that. How many of us get an opportunity?
I don't think many people do. I mean, what are the
No.
chances of getting to go back and re-experience that? You know.
Exactly. So I'm hoping that Vivian gets a chance to actually go back to that and explore that, because we all remember that first crush, right? We all remember that person that made us like question our sexual orientation. And if you had a chance to go back and actually see if a relationship could work with that person, would you do it? I would. Well, I don't know. I shouldn't say that with Andrea sitting next to me.
You're right. I'm not that worried. All right, so that's interesting because I think because they just left you hanging, not knowing what's going to happen for season 3. So I actually think season 3, I do think they're eventually going to get together, Vivian and Sophie. I don't think it's going to last, though. I really think it's going to be where they get together, they're going to try, and Aster's still going to be around, and Aster's going to come back, and she's going to come fighting for her woman, for one. And I think
But she's been doing that for two seasons. Aster has been fighting for Vivian for 2
Yeah,
seasons.
but you don't know what you have until it's gone.
Well,
Seriously.
at the end of season 1, it was gone. So we thought Aster has been fighting for Vivian since season 1, because when Vivian left the city to go back to the burbs, her childhood home, she put herself back in the closet, and so Aster had to fight for her attention, and she had to fight for respect and recognition. So Aster's had to fight for Vivian since season 1, pretty much.
True. I don't know. I just think that once Sophie and Vivian are together, they're going to try that. I mean, because there's obviously some feelings there that are probably going to carry over into season 3. But I can't foresee something staying with them. Like, that just seems too easy to me, in my opinion. And
here's the thing. Andrea is such a romantic. She wants Vivian and Aster to stay together because they're already together. That's what it is with her. And me, I'm that person who's just like, well, you know what? They're 16, 17 years old. Let Vivian go back to that first experience, that first time she felt like, oh my God, I have this thing for this girl, and explore that. Let her have that.
Right.
Even if it's only for a few months, let her have
Well, and that's 16-year-olds, 17-years-olds, they do that all the time.
Exactly.
And here's the thing, they'll probably, bounce back and forth between relationships
That's what
because
we do.
that's what happens. And so, we'll probably see a lot more drama. I mean, I can't imagine it's going to be any less, because they've done a great job of always building the episodes up and making you wonder what's going to happen in the next. So I really look forward to season 3, because I think we're going to see a lot more developing within maybe some new relationships. I'm curious what happens with Archibald and Liz, because he left. Like, literally, you see him walk out, and it just seems like he's thrown in the towel. He doesn't care. He doesn't want to hear anything from Liz. Maybe he doesn't even want to hear about why, what's going on there. So I'm curious what's going to go on with them, too.
So we're excited about season 3. Very, very excited about season 3. So don't you guys make us wait too long.
Yeah, no kidding.
For season 3. Again, if you have not seen Anyone But Me, all you have to do is go to anyoneButMeSeries.com. Check it out. Make sure you watch the first season and the second season. You have to see all the episodes, okay, to really appreciate this web series. We are available on iTunes. All you have to do is go to iTunes and search for Sisters Talk Radio. We're also available on Stitcher in the LGBT category. Stitcher is a podcast application for your BlackBerry or your iPhone. And if you're not watching this video on YouTube, our YouTube channel is youtube.com/Sisters Talk Radio. We're going to be back with a lot of video and reporting from Memphis, Tennessee. Until then, bye.
Bye.